What's up, guys? Welcome back to yet another riveting episode here on the Avion Awesome channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about charging up our devices. Most of us live with just an absolute plethora of different electronic devices. Thankfully, most of which now have internal batteries that we can recharge thousands of times. Most of our phones, tablets, computers, all that stuff, they all have internal lithium-ion polymer batteries, different types of lithium chemistries that can generally be charged up relatively fast and lots and lots of times. But as I stated in my, which one's better, the 12 volt versus AC power, which one of those is better? I also introduced you guys to this thing. Now, this little device is made by a company called Anker. Now, I love Anker stuff. Anker makes some of the best charging or charger style devices that I've ever used, and I've been using them for literally years. Not just kidding, this is not a paid endorsement or anything. I bought this with my own damn money, and I actually do have other Anker products. I have a USB hub for my laptop, and I also have USB power banks that I use to charge my devices on the go. So what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to try and charge all of these devices with regular household AC appliances and kind of get a gauge as to how many watts they're using with their AC counterparts and this Anker power delivery 12 volt charging thingy. It's a dongle, people. We call it a dongle. Anyway, if you check out right here at the very top, there is a USB-C port, and that thing is called a power delivery port. It actually says PD right underneath of it. And essentially what that means is that it delivers direct power through this port. I have clocked it going up to 30 watts, and that was with me charging my laptop. Now, just to give you all a for instance, my laptop uses this big AC power brick. On the side of it, you can see that it says 87 watts. Okay, but if you look on the other side, it actually gives you some stats, and they're probably too small to actually show up on camera, so I'm just going to read them to you. The output at 20.2 volts will deliver 4.3 amps USB PD. It will also deliver 3 amps at 9 volts USB PD, or 5.2 volts at 2.4 amps. So it actually even lets you know that your laptop, or my laptop more specifically, can use USB power delivery ports just fine. And most other devices can as well, all with varying degrees of amperage input based on the voltage of that device and or cable. Anyway, I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds. I'm basically looking for efficiency differences. So I'm going to use the standard plugs on the AC ports, take a reading, measure those things out, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing, charging that exact same device with its own cable using this device. So as you all can see, I have a cornucopia of different style devices. I have, regular style cameras with microphone on top. I've got smaller gimbal style cameras. I've got an iPhone 10, a Google Pixel 3, a Google Pixel 4. I've got Apple AirPods. I've got a GoPro and a battery charger for it. I've got a lot of different little devices that I keep charged and check on charge all the time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the phones first, because I think that is what most people have, at the very, very least, to both stay in touch with people, provide themselves with entertainment, and it's also the most useful as far as navigation, social media, stuff like that. Just basic stuff that we're going to use every single day. So I'm going to start with phones first. Okay, so I'm going to start with the iPhone 10 first. And I'm going to use not only its original charging cable, but also its original AC power brick, and tell you how many watts it's using to charge this thing at standard capacity. Okay, it's now charging. And it is charging at around 16 watts. But if I unplug it, you can see that the inverter itself is actually using roughly 9 watts on its own. So plug it back in, and it's about 16 watts. So roughly 7 watts total to charge up this phone. So now I'm going to shut the inverter off, and now I'm just going to plug the phone directly into the PD with its original USB-A charger. It's charging up, and it is currently charging at 7.4, 7.6 watts. So exactly the same amount of charging from this, the AC port or house power, to this 12-volt car power, and it is charging a little bit better. It just hit 8 watts, 8.7, 8.4, 9.1. It's actually charging slightly better with the 12-volt port as opposed to the AC port. Okay, and as an added bonus, I have a USB-C to US or Lightning connector. It's an official Apple connector, so I'm going to plug it directly into the PD port and see what kind of charging I get with that. Okay, it's charging up, and we are up to 12.5, 11.6, 11.1, 10.6, 9.7, 8.3. It looks like it's down regulating it a little bit. Roughly 8 watts, 8.3, 8, 7.6, 8.4. I'll say we'll just split the difference and say 8.25 watts with USB-C to Lightning connector going through the Anker power delivery port. Next up is going to be the MacBook Pro, so I'm going to plug the AC adapter in, and obviously this one requires just a USB-C to USB-C. So when I turn the inverter on, I'm ramping up, and it should put out the rated amount of wattage, but we'll see. It's about 95% already charged, so it's going at about, it's like going right around 45 watts at the moment, and that's on AC power. So let me turn the inverter off, unplug, and plug it directly into the PD power port. And now we are ramping up, and we should sit right at about 30 total watts. Looks like right now, because it is almost fully charged, it's sitting at about 28.9 watts total. Alright, next I'm going to use the Google Pixel 3 XL, and we'll plug this in and see how it does. Okay, the inverter is on, and it is charging at 18.4 watts, 17.3, 17.4. So I'm just going to say 18 watts going through the AC plug on this. All right, now the next one I'm going to try is the USB to USB, because these Google Pixels have USB ports on the bottom, and they are fast charging, so I'm going to use the PD port. All right, we are charging. And we are charging right at 18.4 watts, 17.5. So I'm going to split the difference between 18.5 and 17.5 and just say it's 18 watts. Next up, I'm going to try the Google Pixel 4 XL, and I'm going to use just the standard 5-volt power plug. Turn on the inverter, and we are charging at 16.5, 17.7, 17, 17.4. I'm just going to say this is charging at 17 watts, coming from a standard 5-volt plug. Now, I do want to mention that the Google Pixel 4 XL actually has an 18-watt fast charger, but 16 or 17 watts right out of the box with a 5-volt plug is pretty standard. But we also have to remember that the inverter is using 9 of these watts. So now I'm going to bypass this and go directly to the PD port. Alright, got it plugged in, and we are charging at a full 19.3 watts right now directly from the power delivery port. So that's pretty daggone good. And it's direct power. None of that power is being wasted on the inverter whatsoever. It's all going directly to charge up this phone. Alright, next up I'm going to charge my 2017 Apple iPad Pro 12.9 inch. In the box, the Apple iPad Pro comes with like I want to say like a 12 watt charger or so. I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to be using this charger. This charger is a Samsung adaptive fast charger, and it's going at roughly, I don't know, I want to say 15 or maybe even 16 watts total. So we'll try and see what that looks like, and then we'll take the exact same USB-A to Lightning port and try charging it up that way. So with the inverter turned on, I am charging this at 15.5, 15.9, 15.2, 15.8. So I'm just going to say 15.5 watts. I'm going to unplug it and then put it directly into the IQ port. And we are charging at 13.1 watts, 13.2. So roughly 13.1 total watts. Now I'm going to unplug it from here, and I'm going to not use the USB-A. I'm going to use the USB-C to Lightning cable. Alright, with the Lightning cable plugged in, I am now charging at... looks like I am charging at a full 30 watts. It's 27, 25, 26, 25. Either which way it goes. With the power delivery port, I am charging at least damn near double what I was getting just from the standard USB-A port, and definitely more from a standard 16 watt fast charger. Next up, I'm going to charge this GoPro Hero 7 Black. And it uses the official cable uses USB-A to USB-C. Turn on the inverter. And we are charging up at 11 watts, 10.5, 12.6, 11.7. Let's just say 12 watts. All right, I'm going to unplug that and put it into the IQ port. And we are now charging this at a solid 8 watts directly from the PD, or the, the IQ2 ports, the USB-A port on this. Not bad. But I'm going to take this one just a step further as well, and I'm going to see what it will charge with straight USB-C to USB-C. So it's now up to 9.1 watts when the screen is turned on. 9 watts. Let me shut the screen back off. And we're dropping back down now to 7 watts total. So it looks like the internal circuitry in this camera has a slight delay to kind of ramp up the amount of power that it starts to deliver to the camera. So as you can see here from all of my results, it's way more efficient to charge your devices, at least as far as I can tell, from 12 volt as opposed to turning on your inverter and trying to charge it that way. Now, if I'm wrong, if anyone can give me any information, because I have had people tell me that I was a complete idiot, that I was a complete moron, that using good chargers and good official cables, stuff like that, that there's no way that the efficiency difference would be that much. But like I said, if I'm wrong, I will be more than happy to admit that I'm wrong. I just don't think I am. In my personal opinion, I think it is way more efficient to run these 5, 9, and 12 volt devices directly from 12 volt because they can all handle it. And this little device is what makes it all possible. Getting a 12 volt powered device that gives you power delivery is the best solution. Granted, this thing is $30, but it will handle just about every single device in here. Not to mention, it's smaller and lighter weight than something like this big hunk of brick. This thing is heavy, like really heavy, as compared to this. So the ultimate conclusion, if you have the ability to charge any device directly from the battery to battery, because most of these little handheld devices they have batteries inside, lithium batteries, so charge it directly from a battery. Don't invert that power from 12 volt DC to 120 volt AC. You have too many efficiency losses, and that is a waste of power. So if you have the ability to go from battery to battery, that's preferable to inverting that power. So if you guys happen to be interested, I'm going to drop links down in the description box below. That would totally help me out. It doesn't cost you a nickel extra. It just helps the channel out whenever you make a purchase through that link. Alright guys, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. And as always, thanks for stopping and watching yet another riveting episode here on the Avion Awesome channel. I'm your host, Mark Puckett, and I'm going to see you guys again on the next one. Peace.